Hello everyone and welcome to the Starladder Starseries Season 5, day number 3. This is going to be the 4th game of the day. 4FC going up against Absolute Legends. AL going to be taking up the Radiant side of this game. 4FC hanging on the Dire. Radiant going to have first pick in this particular game. And AL going to choose to just ban out that silencer. Don't want to deal with it. Don't want to deal with team fight power, not risking the chance that 4FC might pick it up and have some neat new way of playing him. He just came into the competitive tournament pool. So they're not going to deal with that, taking him out. 4FC, they're going to choose to ban out the Nyx assassin. Not really wanting to deal with that support hero and his power in team fights. Feels like Nyx isn't quite as strong as he once was, as teams have kind of gotten used to the fact that he's in games, understand how to play around him. The fact that he can gank and they need sentry wards to be able to deal with him. But still a very powerful support just in terms of his base skills. Second and final ban for Absolute Legends in this first ban phase. They're going to choose to take out the Magnus, the Magnosaurus, the big old horny guy over there. Taking him out of this game, don't want to deal with his team fight presence, and 4FC with their final ban of this first banning phase, taking out the Wisp. Don't want to deal with the global presence and the ganking pressure that can come out from a good Wisp. And that's going to leave Batrider in the pool, and Absolute Legends immediately notice. They're like, Batrider in the pool? I guess that means it's time for us to pick up a Batrider. I'm going to first pick the Batrider on his team. The global, the positional play of Batrider is just so powerful. Going to manage to take him out onto their team very quickly, and 4FC immediately respond with Keeper of the Light as well as Shadow Demon, choosing to pick up the supports here right away. These are pretty much the two strongest supports in the pool that aren't Nyx Assassin, who pretty much always gets banned out. So they're going to take them both right now on their team. Leaves their core heroes very open to how the rest of the draft goes, what they want to end up doing, but with Shadow Demon and Keeper of the Light, you know you're going to have a pretty powerful tri-lane. The Illuminate is just such a powerful ability, a strong nuke. Keeper of the Light can stay really far out of lane while having some presence with that nuke ability. It's kind of the same reason Earthshaker used to be pretty decent in tri-lane, even though people really don't favor him anymore. Being able to kind of stay aloof of the lane, out of experience range, but having a presence, just such a powerful thing. And Shadow Demon Disruption is just such a good ability. No one can really talk about how Shadow Demon's really one of the best supports. Absolute Legends for their second and third pick, gonna pick up Darkseer as well as Gyrocopter. Darkseer, just such a versatile hero, able to go to many different lanes, and his teamfight presence is just extraordinary with the vacuum as well as the wall, being able to turn the enemy team's carries against them. Gyrocopter, another pretty versatile hero. Able to lane in a lot of different roles. With the Darkseer and Batrider already picked up, we're probably expecting to see him in the tri-lane in some capacity. Though it's certainly possible we could end up with Batrider in the jungle, and then Gyrocopter mid. We'll see how they end up going, but Gyrocopter able to be played as a support, as a carry, as a solo semi-carry. Just a really good hero that's good at all the phases of the game, and can work with varying amounts of farm. His abilities are strong on their own, and if some farm, Flat Cannon is just such a powerful carry ability, allowing him to do all of his auto attack damage to every unit in 1000 AoE is just way too powerful to deal with if he gets a lot of damage items as the game goes on.
10 seconds remaining.
4FC, they're going to use their last pick of that first pick in phase to take up the Lone Druid. Lone Druid, just a powerful carry, great for pushing, able to solo pretty effectively. Because he has that bear to rely on to last hit, gets incredibly tanky at level 6. When he gets his ultimate bear form, gives him all that armor and that extra HP is really hard to gank. So we're going to head into the second ban phase now. 4FC probably looking for whoever they want as their farmer in that tri-lane, as well as like a solo mid-type hero. And AL really open, but probably looking for supports of their own. So AL gonna choose to ban out Nyx as well as Luna, just taking out those tri-lane carries that they know that 4FC are really looking for right now. And if they can take out the best ones and kind of force them to rely on something maybe they weren't really considering at first, it's going to leave them in a little bit better of a position overall. And 4FC now looking to ban out their second ban here, and they're going to take out Undying, as well as Chen from their first one. Just trying to take out supports. They know that with this lineup from AL, they need to get some powerful supports here to make sure that whatever trialing they try and end up running, it's really going to be able to do something in the game. So they're going to be able to take that out and just go for taking out as many supports as possible at the moment. AL now looking for their last ban out, probably still choosing to just ban out carries. Not sure who they're going to want to go for.
10 seconds.
To ban out as their last carry here.
5 seconds remaining.
There's really no one casting. No, there's a stream.
And we have seen Empire.
And now looking for their last ban stills. Not sure what they're going to want to go for. Looking at a carry. To ban out here and maybe Faceless Void. They actually end up going with Puck. So maybe just like, we don't really care about any of the other carries in the pool. Let's just try to take away some of the AoE they can get on one of their mid-heroes. A little bit surprised to see that they go for Puck and maybe not just ban out the Queen of Pain in that case. But they do ban out the Puck. We're not going to get to see Puck, at least not in this game. And 4FC using their last ban, going to take out Venomancer. A support that we're kind of seeing come back into favor. Seeing him picked more and more lately to pretty good effect. Venomancer with his AoE is just really fearsome in early in the game with the crippling slow coming out from Venomous Gale. As well as the game goes on, the dot from his ultimate can really just shred enemy teams in a team fight. And Hale going to pick up one of my personal favorite heroes, Lina the Slayer. Coming into the game as a support hero here, Lina usually requires some sort of other setups done. Try and land her Light Strike array. It's pretty difficult to land still, probably a little bit easier than Split Earth from Leshrac, but still difficult nonetheless. But a powerful AoE stun. Her ultimate is just so powerful in teamfights. It's a pretty low cooldown. It's pretty low cooldown and does a lot of damage. It's like a Lion ultimate with a much better cooldown. And 4FC pick up the Queen of Pain, which is pretty much what I expected. Still surprised to see that the Puck got banned out instead of the Queen of Pain. I feel like the Queen of Pain was a little bit stronger of a pick here. Puck is certainly all well and good, but Queen of Pain pretty much does the same thing in the team fight, but a little bit more efficiently, I think. But regardless, 4FC will be able to get the Queen of Pain here, and that's going to be probably their mid-hero. They still haven't decided who they want to go with as their Trillian farmer. You typically wouldn't see Lone Druid or Queen of Pain farming in a Trillian. They both really like levels. Lone Druid can get almost as much farming in the offlane for the most part.
Admiral Kunkka.
And they give it, they show with this last pick who they want. And it's the Admiral, it's Kunkka. We get to see him twice in one day. Here we don't see too much, but is always a fan favorite. That's such a great voice acting and just flavor. Last pick coming out from AL was Bane Elemental. Forgot to mention that because it's just not exciting when you get to see Kunkka and Lina get picked up, you know? Go over the players for each team, who they're playing. We've got 4FC on the dire side. We've got Trilly on the Lone Druid, his typical role. Ares Loco on the Keeper Light Nose, taking up the Queen of Pain. Stringby on the Admiral himself, Kunkka, and Boomski taking up the Shadow Demon. Looks like they're going to be running an aggressive trialing here with the Shadow Demon and the Kunkka, and probably also the Keeper of the Light, which is now on his way, along with the Queen of Pain, maybe just trying to help out in case they get in a fight in this bottom lane. For Absolute Legends, we got Miggle taking up the Darkseer, Rise on the Bane Elemental, Unicorn on the Gyrocopter, Miracle taking up Batrider, and Mania on the Lina. So looks like we're going to have a Trilane versus Trilane here.
30 seconds to battle.
With an It's going to be Bane, Lina, and Gyrocopter on the Radiant side in the defensive tri-lane, up against Shadow Demon, Kunkka, and Keeper of the Light. And this tri-lane's pretty scary, with basically infinite mana for the Kunkka to be able to cast Torrent repeatedly. And also occasionally for the Shadow Demon to get a couple more disruptions off. Going for the Keeper of the Light, they're going to be able to really do a ton of damage. And just charging up the Illuminate while they're in disruption. Then they're going to come out, get torrented, hit by the Illuminate, and probably die. Maybe Rise, with some fast fingers, will be able to get that Nightmare off right after they come out of the disruption and save them from a bunch of damage. But we'll see how this lane ends up working. Bane is also a pretty good setup stun disable in the form of Nightmare for the Light Strike away from Lina. There is a ward here on the Dire side. It looks like the Sentry is just out of range, which is unfortunate for Mania. We put it a little bit down lower, maybe around here. We've still been able to see this area, but might have also been able to catch that. So a lot of the action in this game is probably going to be taking place in this tri-lane versus tri-lane. It looks like Darkseer is creep skipping in the top lane, just putting some pressure on bottom, or on the Lone Druid, but the First Blood is going to go the way of the Shadow Demon in this bottom lane, getting punished by the disruption from the Shadow Demon as well as the Torrent from Kunkka. And finally Illuminate from Keeper Light, using the combo just like I said they would, to deal a ton of damage very quickly. And so far C's tri-lane's looking pretty powerful down here. I wouldn't want to be laning against this myself. Hopefully AL's going to be able to try and accomplish something in this lane. Brain Sap level now picked up on Bane. So we'll have a little bit more survivability when he steals their vital energies. Rise running forward, looked like he might have been wanting to go for something, but ends up just taking a hit and then running away. Looks like Lina's trying to find the counter ward, or the ward that's blocking their pull. Can't seem to spot it. Is in fact over here in the woods. That's leaving it pretty difficult for Lina to find it. Has to end up killing all these trees. Does manage to spot it out though. And that's going to make it so they can start pulling in this lane. But I spent a lot of time trying to find that and misses a couple minutes where he could have been pulling. Darkseer continuing to skip in this top lane, putting a ton of pressure on the bear. Truly forced to resummon his bear. Not going to care too much about that as long as he keeps getting these last on the tower. He's doing pretty well, not quite as well as the Darkseer is doing, just standing behind the creep wave. Knows that he's not really in any danger as long as the supports don't go missing from the bottom lane. And if they do, Kunkka's not farming anyways. Doesn't look like 4FC's really worried about it at the moment. As long as Lone Druid's getting some farm here on the tower, and he's keeping the creeps off the tower pretty effectively by just letting his bear tank and kiting when applicable. Looks like Batrider's doing a little bit of jungling here, while also being mid. He's gonna be pretty careful. He'll be alright. He has a regen rune, so he's gonna use that to full heal, just using some mana to get some farm in the jungle while he has the chance. Regen runing up in this middle lane. Looks like he's not having the best time against the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain, a pretty difficult hero for Batrider to really beat in the middle lane, just because the Shadow Strike does pretty good amount of damage. She has good burst and she's able to blink away once she turns around, so you're not going to be able to really harass her down with a ton of stacks of sticky napalm. So the heroes in mid look like they're trading blows. No's going to go find a rune in the top lane, and 4FC not really going too aggressive on anything yet. Rise staying back on his Bane. Being a pretty naturally quick support hero. Boomski does have boots though, so we'll be able to catch up. He decides to go for something. content to just continue farming. Admiral Kunkka getting pretty decent farm. Here comes out the Disruption as well as the Torrent on Rise, and there's the Illuminate. Rise just gonna go down. Unicorn trying to get something done as a sort of revenge kill here. There is a homing missile coming. Looks like a kill almost getting on Kunkka, but he does have a wand. Able to use that to survive. And now they're going for a revenge kill of their own. And they do get the kill. Keeper Light getting a second kill, taking out the gyrocopter there. Disruption comes out on Mania. Looks like Ares is probably going to go down, but Mania going to die first. Nightmare being used on Kunkka. He's low on HP. Nightmare going to end. And Rise, with that Soul Catcher arm, taking a lot of damage. Wand charge used by Kunkka, and Kunkka able to survive. A double kill going the way of Shadow Demon, so 5 kills. Going the way of 4, I've seen this bottom lane. People, Bane even dying again after respawn and coming back to lane. So AL not having a good time. In this bottom tri-lane versus tri-lane, it's pretty obvious with that last Kunkka pick that their tri-lane's a lot weaker. Even with the powerful setup with the Bane and the Lina, Lina's just not able to do as much damage as an Illuminate and a Torrent. And the Gyrocopter has to get really close to be able to use the Rocket Barrage, whereas the Kunkka and the Keeper Light can both kind of stay far back and just channel things so they aren't getting disrupted. And the Kunkka able to splash from some creeps, deal even more damage. With the Soul Catcher also making a huge difference, being able to get that bonus damage in these fights. Top lane farming is pretty much just getting evenly traded. It looks like Lone Druid is going to go for a Midas this game. Probably feeling safe. He knows his bottom lane is just going fantastically for his team. His Kunkka's probably doing pretty well, so he can just sit here, grab a Midas, and just farm away. It does look like Darkseer might be going for a Vanguard. He has a Ring of Health picked up. With that, he'll be able to kind of push these towers pretty effectively, just able to sit there and tank them, especially the tier 1s. Not really going to be able to hurt him too much. Does have a Soul Ring as well, so he's able to just sit there with Ion Shell on. Do pretty good damage. Bane finds the bear out in the jungle, puts it to sleep. And it looks like Miguel trying to get in range to hit the bear some, but he's just going to get recalled back. And Lone Druid continuing to farm. He does have enough gold to go out and get his hand of Midas as soon as he feels safe. It looks like he will send the bear over there to get it. Recalls it back and makes his hand of Midas. So he's going to be in even more farm up here. We can take a quick look at gold per minute. We do see that Darkseer is leading the way. He's been getting like every last hit here because he's skipping the creep wave and doesn't feel threatened at all. He can just stand here and all the last hits are going to go his way. He's getting more and more points. He's got Ion Shell maxed. Creep waves are basically disintegrating in front of him. But while he's doing this, his bottom tri-lane is really just getting nothing. Gyrocopter has significantly less farm than everyone else. Kunkka running into the jungle, coming after the Gyrocopter, and it looks like he's going to get punished for this. Once he gets hit by this homing missile, probably going to go down. Defensive Disruption, though. Going to save him for the moment. Batrider does port in. And will go down. Shadow Demon does make it out, but 2 kills going back the way of AL with that really aggressive tower dive. Kunkka running into the jungle behind the tower, knowing a TP support could just be there instantly. Batrider didn't have to use ultimate, but doesn't have the mana to use it yet. Only 1 bottle charge is not quite going to get him there either. Wouldn't be content to just port back. Still a lot of health though. Looks like Gyrocopter's heading towards this mid lane now. See how he can fare against the Queen of Pain. Unfortunately, at the moment, Queen of Pain does have double damage, which means it's going to be very easy for her to zone this Gyrocopter completely out. Creep Wave is behind his tower, at least for the moment. Misses a last hit for no apparent reason. Misses another last hit for no apparent reason. So Unicorn not having a great game here. Unlike Miggle, who is sitting up in this top lane, farming away to his heart's content. No one even cares to try and stop him. We'll see if Darkseer can get big enough, fast enough to really get something done this game. It does have Vanguard as well as Soul Ring, and it looks like something else even coming. A headdress. So he's probably going to be going for that quick mech, and he's getting closer and closer. So we'll see how long it takes for him to really get that up. With that mechanism, they can try and like push and put some pressure on, but 4FC have a much stronger team fighting team, at least for the moment, because they're so far ahead from that bottom tri-lane. With Batrider down here, this trend is being kept back a little bit harder. Just a little bit more difficult for them to think they want to go on the Batrider. Queen of Pain does activate an Invis rune. And Shadow forced to defensively disrupt himself. He's probably going to go down here. In fact, does. Miracle gets hit by the Demonic Purge, though, taking a lot of damage, and Kunkka gets put to sleep, keeping Miracle alive, at least for the moment. Looks like he will be able to get away. Batrider does have enough money now to pick up her his Blink Dagger. So it's going to allow him to really get into these fights a lot easier. Just probably going to regen enough mana to port back to base, heal up, and head back. And infect us. This is Lone Druid's doing. He's up to 2,000 gold after his hand mice. It's currently off cooldown. It looks like he was blocking this camp right here with his bear. Knows that Miguel has been sitting here farming his jungle in this region after cutting creep waves off. So just trying to cut back on the amount of space Darkseer has to actually farm as much as possible. He's going to skip this creep wave again. His tower's down to half health after all this time. Fortunately, Bear is pretty decent at dealing with this. And Darkseer going to be a little upset that there's nothing for him to farm. Going to wait now. Batrider heading towards his top lane. We'll see if they're going to be able to actually get a kill on this Lone Druid. Batrider will have Blink Dagger up. Tower in the bottom lane goes down in the middle. In the meantime,
tower has fallen, but it doesn't hurt.
and Lone Druid just content to sit on this tower. Doesn't really want to get ganked. Maybe realizes that there was no one there. It seems likely something's amiss. The ultimate coming out from Leah doesn't do that much when the bear has all of this health, but he will go down here. Middle taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately, gonna get picked off there after the Scream of Pain, as well as the Sonic Wave. And Miracle on the Batrider getting picked off as well, giving a double kill the way of the Queen of Pain with some TP support. 3 heroes actually showing up in this top lane. Kunkka now porting into the middle lane, just gonna get some farm, protect his tower, taking any more damage than it really has to. String be doing pretty well. He's got a Ring of Health up, as well as Ring of Basilius.
Radiant's top tower.
And he's continuing to farm. I'm not sure what he's going for with the Ring of Health. He just wants to go for a Battle Fury. Seems like it's probably not super necessary for him to get a Battle Fury and just go for farming this game, considering how well his Lone Druid's doing. Even if he did get picked off there, he does have 3,000 gold. He has a Midas done as well. So he's going to have the Radiance done in probably about 16-17 minutes, if he can continue farming at a decent rate. Forced now to give up on farming the jungle, has to run towards this top tower. Doesn't want to let it take any more damage than it has to. Fortunately, there is a smoke coming out from the Batrider, as well as the Lina. And he's going to get caught off again, but this time without the ultimate form off.
Dire's top tower, Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And he's just going to get picked off there. Doesn't have his ultimate form on. I'm not sure why he was walking around without ultimate form on. He has to be aware that a gank could be coming on him. They know that he's been farming up here constantly on AL's side. And they're going to want to stop that. They got to be concerned about it. And if he just sits around in ultimate form and doesn't die for another couple minutes, he's going to have his relic up. At the very least, if not finish his Radiance completely. Miguel getting pretty close to his mech though. He's about 400 gold away. Now Radiance Courier getting picked off in the middle of the jungle for nothing. It looks like Batrider probably going to die here. There's a boat coming. It's not going to land on anything, but Miracle trying to get away on the Batrider. And he's all over the map. Who knows where he's going? But Queen of Pain with the great blink catches up to him. Able to kill him. Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave coming out here. Looks like Queen of Pain might be able to survive. Uses a regen rune. Middle gonna go down. Keeper Light dying to the Bat Raider in the meantime. Kunga taking a ton of damage from the call down as well as the Fiend's Grip. He's gonna go down.
Well, that'll learn ya.
And Gyrocopter teaching some lessons there. Queen of Pain is at full health though. Gonna get the deny in this tier 1 in the top lane and then back off.
Has been denied.
And Boomski gonna be forced to just go back to base, really low on health. And Bear in the meantime headed onto this bottom lane. Gonna get some farm. Bear continuing to farm. He's getting really close to that relic. Unfortunate that he let himself get picked off a couple times. Being a little bit wiser and walking around in this big old tanky bear form this time. But another smoke being used by Miracle, and he's going to get caught again. AL just content to constantly go on, and Mania missing the stun though. That might be mean he gets away here. Taking a lot of damage. Disruption comes out. Mania gonna go down, but Bear will also die. So they're keeping him off this relic as long as possible. Miracle gets another kill, taking out the Shadow Demon. It looks like Queen of Pain gonna be able to get away. Fortunately, that counter gank from 4FC not quite going as planned. Double damage rune bottled by Queen of Pain, and a fantastic flame break comes out from Miracle on the Bat Raider. It's gonna catch Kunkka up on top of this with only 35 seconds until he can TP again. So he's just going to drop fire up there and keep throwing all of this napalm up there until Kunkka burns to death. And Kunkka goes down. Bane gets picked off in the meantime by the Queen of Pain. Not really sure what Bane was thinking. Call down being used by the Gyrocopter. Going to do some damage to Keeper Light, slow him down, but he should be able to get away. Queen of Pain with that double damage and doing a ton of damage to the Miracle on the Bat Raider. Not really sure why he bothered backing off. Maybe he didn't notice that the Bat Raider had no mana. But gonna get hit by that homing missile. Just kind of annoying. Looks like he's actually... No, it's only a level 1 homing missile. It's doing a pretty good amount of damage there. Looks like a Yasha being picked up now. As well as some magic wand by Gyrocopter. He's gonna have to walk back to base to get it. The courier is respawning now. Who's on that courier? The mech recipe for Miggle. On the Darkseer. That's pretty unfortunate for him. He had that mech coming and the courier got picked off right before it got to him. He has it now. It's delayed by a few minutes there, and it gave a bunch of money to 4FC. Take a quick look at the experience graph. It's about 2k in favor of AL. And about 2,500 gold in favor of 4FC. So experience just favoring AL, but gold by about the same margin in favor of 4FC. And so 4FC now grouping up in this top lane. Bear does have his relic finally, after getting picked off 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. Right as he was getting close to it each time. Able to get it up now. Only about 800 gold away from having his Radiance. And with that, they're probably just going to keep pressuring towers. Once they have that up, trying to take team fights. They got to think their team fight's pretty good right now. They have a lot of AoE. In the form of Kunkka. They got the Illuminate coming out from Keeper the Light. Queen of Pain with all of her abilities. And looks like Bat Raider's trying to sneak around somewhere. But he is spotted out by the Shadow Poison, so he's not going to be able to be too sneaky here. And it looked like he was just using Firefly to get away at the moment. Shadow Poison going to wear off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
2-2 bottom, taking a little bit of harass just from the creep wave. And AL look like they're backing off a little bit here. The Bear, though, gonna start mauling this tower, and AL, you gotta think they would be trying to stop the Bear in some fashion, but it did a lot of damage there before they really start trying to do damage. Back to the bear. He's doing fine, just gonna get resummoned here. And then truly just stands and runs into the jungle. Knows his home. Gonna start killing some creeps. Getting closer and closer to that radiance. It does look like Kunkka is going for Battle Fury. It's still possible he could just end up going for a Shadow Blade and just have the Ring of Hell. But with those two items, those are makings of Battle Fury.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Fortify gonna come out from AL. Kind of imagine they're probably not gonna actually try and defend with this. Bat Rider ult gets used on the Keeper Light, so the Keeper Light will go down, but it's hard to say if it's really worth it at that point. Take the Keeper Light out of the fight fast. Miracle gonna get killed by an Entangle from the bear. Bear does go down. Kunkka killed, and there's no resummon from the Lone Druid. It looks like Shadow Demon gonna go down as well. Laguna Blade coming up from Lina, showing that lightning, and Queen of Pain gonna walk away. Out through the river, blinking out. Looks like the Relic Radiance is done. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a bear for 45 seconds. So they get that tower down, but you gotta be thinking at what cost. Lane's kind of all in favor of 4FC at the moment, just in terms of creepy equilibrium. A lot of the lanes pushing out. AL trying to defend mid, get the creep wave off as quickly as possible. Doesn't want this catapult to be able to just sit here and shoot their tower for a minute. The Lone Druid continuing to just farm. We'll see what he decides to go for next. If he wants to go for something like a pipe, so no one else on his team is really going to be able to get that in any reasonable time frame. Actually, a Lincoln's picked up on Queen of Pain. Just doesn't want to ever get caught by that Bat Rider ultimate. And I think that's a sentiment many of us can agree with. I don't like getting pulled by a net. That guy's kind of creepy. Running up, netting you, pulling you across rivers. Just Queen of Pain, having none of it. Gonna get that. Lincoln's, and worst case scenario, it's blocking like a Bane ultimate or a Lina ultimate. There aren't a lot of abilities that it's really gonna trigger. I guess homing missile. Only about 400 gold away from the mech now, and Keeper of the Light. So he's going to be getting pretty close to that in the near future. Nothing going from Shadow Demon. And Kunkka does in fact decide to go for the Shadow Blade. Maybe figures he thought he was going to be able to get that Battle Fury pretty quickly, and then kind of stalled out. It's just like, alright, well, I need damage so that we can start dealing as much damage as possible in these team fights. Let's get a Shadow Blade. And Bat Rider catching the Shadow Demon out with his ultimate. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like... Oh, the Fiend's Grip out on the Queen of Pain. She's going to go down. Shadow Demon's still alive because of the defensive disruption. Boat comes through. Shadow Demon going to die. But Lina getting a double kill, and so far no revenge for 4FC. Wall comes out from Miggle. Vacuum not quite able to pull them back into it. They're a little bit out of range. Buybacks coming out from 4FC's two heroes. Mania taking a lot of damage from the bear. Radiant's burning him now, but the bear put to sleep. Gets removed. Rise gonna go down here. And Bat Rider taking a lot of damage from the Queen of Pain, gonna be able to get away because of the surge from Miggle. Queen of Pain continuing the chase, but not gonna be able to get there. They might just go for this tier 2 tower now. They have a lot of heroes in this region. The creep wave is nearby. The wall's gonna be wearing off. If they kill these illusions pretty quickly, they should be in a good position. End up just picking off a counter ward and give it up. There are a lot of heroes still alive on AL, and they haven't been doing as well in team fights as maybe they thought they were going to be. And just gonna head to the Raj Pit instead. Counter warded on their way there, so AL don't have sight coming into this, but it does seem like it's a pretty obvious play when they don't go for the tower. When you win this fight here in this region, if you're either going for this tower here, or you just start running back and go for Roche. And AL, they're in a position, Shadow Demon getting caught again by the Bat Rider ult. Bat Rider seems to really love taking him out of these fights as quickly as possible, just trying to kill the supports. And 4FC still trying to go for the Roche. Able to get it now. They know what's going on because Miracle flying around with that flying vision. But they will get the Roche on. Age is picked up on the bear. And they're going to run into this fight. Rise looks like he's probably going to go down here. Does in fact go down. And Queen of Pain invisible, chasing after the team. Mania going to go down with that Scream of Pain. Miss a kill. Bat Rider gets chased down by the Lone Druid. And 3 heroes going down there on AL in favor of 4FC. They're going to be able to push anywhere they want if they do choose to. And it looks like they're just going to back off. Protect their tier 1 tower, get this deny. Catapult hit gonna come, and then Boomski gets that deny. So perfect play by him there. Kunkka just happy to get a little bit more farm. Now he's doing a lot more damage in these team fights. He's got both sword maxed, the Tidebringer, and has the Shadow Blade to just deal even more burst physical damage in that big AoE. 2,400 gold up now on the Lone Druid. Did his bear die? Looks like his bear is in the base. Just walked back to base. Not sure what he wants to go for next. Kind of expecting to see AC. Though it's certainly possible he could go for something a little bit less aggressive. Like possibly the pipe, and if they just wanted to try and push. Be able to survive some of that big AoE magic damage. Just coming out from like the Lina, the Gyrocopter, and to some extent the Bat Rider and Darkseer. Shadow Demon solo farming in the bottom lane, has no fear whatsoever of getting picked off here. Knows he's been just getting caught out every fight by Bat Rider anyways. Figures he may as well do it somewhere where he's getting some money. And it looks like Lone Druid taking a lot of damage. X marks the spot being utilized very well here though by the Kunkka. Bat Rider pulls people out of position, but Kunkka's putting the X mark the spot on them right away and then pulling them back in. After the Bat Rider ultimate ends, just to break it, or after he gets out of range. And another fight gonna go the way of 4FC very quickly. 4 kills. 2 going to Kunkka, 1 to Kato, and 1 to Lone Druid. So 4FC winning a big team fight right in front of their tier 2 tower. They're gonna be able to take this tier 2. And I don't see any reason for them to back off this time. None of their towers are in any near danger. They need to back off and try and get a deny or save a tower. Looks like Queen of Pain has some illusions trying to push up top lane a little bit. We're going to be able to have this bear melt this tower. Glyph is up, they're going to use it. Try and buy a little bit of time for their teammates to respawn. This will probably prevent them from trying to go high ground for the tier 3. But they do still have the Aegis, so they might be willing to just go for it. There's a Hyperstone up on the bear now. Unicorn dodging the torrent there, it looked like, with the or not torrent, the Scream of Pain with the Manta. Kunkka taking a lot of damage, he's gonna go down. And with that, it looks like 4FC probably gonna get forced back. Bear taking a whole bunch of damage. Rise almost getting killed, does get picked off by the Lone Druid. Just taking the extra damage coming out from the entangling vines after the bear died. Ends up getting picked off. And 4FC just gonna back off. They still have that Aegis up. It's probably a couple minutes left. About 2.5, 2.25. So 4FC definitely looking like they're in a pretty commanding position. We can take a look at the grass. Just see the experience completely fall off. Basically complete reverse. It was about 6,000 in favor of AL. Now it's about 5,200 in favor of 4FC. Gold always pretty much been in their favor, up to over about 8k now. And, this bear getting bigger and bigger. He's going to start melting these towers, and AL really haven't been able to present any solid solution to stopping him. If they're using all of their abilities trying to take him out and he survives anyways, then they just completely lose the team fight. If they just end up taking out the supports very quickly, he's been able to just deal a bunch of damage. Bear's hitting really hard. And that's another tier 2 tower that's just going to melt here. And looks like 4FC have everyone except their Kunkka here. I don't know if they're going to try and initiate without Kunkka. He does do a lot of AoE damage, so I would imagine they want him here before they try and high ground. But maybe just testing the waters, seeing if they can get AL to react. And AL does react, so they leave. AC now finished up on the bear. That's going to let him destroy these towers even more quickly with that armor reduction aura. I'd like to see them just try and utilize this Aegis in some way. Whether that means, now that the Kunkka's back together, maybe just head towards the mid lane, try and high ground one more time. But they have about a minute left. Actually, only 30 seconds of time with that Aegis. And, it looks like they're probably not going to be able to do anything with it. If they try and go for a fight now, it's more likely that if the Lone Druid is trying to play a little aggressive to pop the Aegis, he will take a little too long and then end up going down. Cloak is picked up by the Lone Druid now, so it's possible he'll just go for the for that pipe like I was suggesting earlier, just so he'll be able to provide his team some survivability in these fights. AL is really relying on their AoE magic damage to try and clear off these fights. Send the bear back in, Radiance burned that down. Almost left a little creep alive. AL running up towards the dire jungle, maybe looking for some sort of gank, but they don't have a lot of levels on their heroes. Except for Darkseer, who is one of the most farmed heroes in the game, still. Unfortunately, has fallen far behind the Lone Druid and even the Queen of Pain at this point. She's got an ultimate orb up as well as 3,200 more gold. She's getting pretty close to being able to have her pig stick. Now, with that, it's going to be very difficult for the Bat Rider to actually pull anyone out of the fight. He can't really blink in and effectively grab the Queen of Pain. If he grabs anyone else, it's just going to get pig sticked right away. Not really going to be able to pull them. He's basically just going to be able to use it as a disable. Queen of Pain getting recalled to the fight. There is a fight going on in the top dire jungle. And it looks like Miggle, taking a ton of damage, was able to get his wall off, and that's going to lead to a death on the Shadow Demon, but 3 heroes now going down from AL in the back of the fight. They're going to clear up these illusions. And the last one alive is Gyrocopter. He's trying to get away. Looks like he will. Kunkka not really feeling confident that he's in a position to chase down a Gyrocopter alone. He's got his Perseverance now, and it looks like another recall being used. Probably on the bear. It is in fact on the bear. And with those 3 heroes down, especially the Darkseer is going to be down for another 40 seconds. Probably doesn't have buyback. We can take a quick look. He does not have buyback. That's going to make it so that they can really just easily take this high ground. Darkseer is the vast majority of their turtling power. Lena's pretty okay at it, but she doesn't have a ton of levels. Whereas the Darkseer has a ton of levels and farm. And Forcey gonna be able to take this lane without too much contest, especially now that the Gyrocopter's gone down. Bat Rider uses his ultimate, catches out the Kunkka. Kunkka go down before he can really do anything. And Keeper Light immediately gonna use his ultimate, uses the Blinding Light, try and deal as much damage, keep people off his team as long as possible. Uses the recall ability to get the Shadow Demon back in this fight. Kunkka not going to respawn for a while. He's probably use that as well. Demonic Purge comes out on the Bat Rider as well as the Scream of Pain from the Queen of Pain. Going to take him down. Call down being used on the fight and on the middle of RFC's lineup, and as well as the Darkseer wall, doing pretty good damage. But it looks like Gyrocopter going to die here as well. And the melee Rex already lost. The illusions coming out from the wall just not able to really survive against the bear, and all the items are on the bear unit instead of the hero.
Turn me over.
Another kill going the way of Queen of Pain. Catching out Lena, trying to kill the Shadow Demon in the Radiant jungle. Shadow Demon gonna survive with the wand charges. And Forcey just heading to this bottom lane now. Roshan is gonna be back up in the next minute. Only about 45 seconds. We'll see if Forcey try to push this another tier 3 right here, or just gonna put a little bit of pressure and then back off. Make sure the lane's pushed out sufficiently before they go for Roche. Recall, gonna get used here on the Kunkka. He's back in, and this is Keeper Light really just showing off his power. As it gets toward the end of the game, you pick off a hero and you're like, well, at least he won't be in this fight for a while. But he can get if he has buyback, he can immediately just get recalled and be on the opposite side of the map, even without boots of travel. Now this tier 3 just getting besieged. Looks like the bear is going to go down. Does he have a resummon? He does not for 30 seconds. So Lone Druid not going to be really able to do as much as he was before. That Lena ultimate coming out and just tickling Lone Druid. He has the cloak. He's already super tanky. He's going to walk away looking kind of wounded, but they do get the tier 3. And 4C look like they might be content to just go back. Lone Druid was down to about 20 health at one point there. Gotta heal up. He buys a Basher now. And a Lincoln Sphere, actually, being picked up by the Kunkka. Decides to utilize that Ring of Health he bought a long time ago. Just pick up a Lincoln Sphere. Doesn't want to get caught by the Bat Rider and Bane ultimates, which are really just hell on trying to survive in these fights. FC now clearly posturing to try and go for Roshan. They know what's up, but unfortunately only the supports are here at the moment. Waiting for Bear to get his ass over here. Fortunately, he sent his Bear to a separate lane. Wanted to try and use the reins to push that lane out a little bit. They know they're going to have to push there in the near future. And AL have to know this is going on, but can they really expect to try and win a fight here? Rise getting caught out. Demonic Purge coming off of him. It looks like Shadow Demon in a lot of trouble here, but Bane just dead. Gets melted. Bat Rider tries to use the ultimate on Kunkka. Doesn't expect the Lincoln Sphere. Wastes his ultimate there. Gets blocked. And now they're just kind of scrambling around. Their plan here for trying to take them out of the fight has been pretty much complete ruin. Bat Rider trying to get away, but his Firefly runs out right before he goes down the cliff. And now Miggle, the only one left alive, forced to try and fight their entire team. Unfortunately, they didn't realize he was X marks the spot, it looks like. Does get caught by the Mana Leak, though, while he's surged, and then entangled. He's going to go down. That's a triple kill for the Lone Druid. And that's going to be GG called by AAL. 4FC just really looked like they were outclassing him in their laning phase this game. Miggle focused on his Darkseer on skipping the creep wave, and that's a lot of heroes that's really effective. But because the Lone Druid has a basically disposable bear that is literally just really tanky early in the game, was able to keep the creeps off the tower, didn't lose that tower too early, didn't lose the farm like he might have. Kept us cool. As a result, gonna take this game, AL. Gonna lose it to 4FC. And I think that puts 4FC at 1-2 now. Sorry to meet you. 4FC using all their abilities, whatever they can. They know the enemy team's gone. And that's going to be it for this game. 4FC take it over AL. Give a quick look at the scoreboard. Once again, my name is Knaz. I'm going to be casting the Starladder Star Series Season 5 games for you here. At least for the next few days. We'll see from there. And I'm going to take a quick break. And then we will be back for the next, and I believe final, match of the night.